Alright, got a washing machine that will not spin and it's making this horrendous noise. Gonna show you what it is, how to get it back up and running. It's coming up next.
So a lot of times that's indicative of a broken coupling. What's happened is as the
Welcome back to Kung Fu Maintenance, where I show you how to make the most likely repairs you'll need to make in your lifetime. If you'd like to get the latest videos, subscribe and then hit the little bell icon right at the subscribe button and it'll notify you of any new videos when they're released for you.
We'll had a bunch of towels that just jammed in this washing machine and pulled them out from the agitator, and now the machine's making a funny noise. Going to show you that in a second here. I've got to close the lid in order to do it. Let me move this stuff. It kind of stinks. Someone just packed this in way too much. It can only take so much. There's a limit, and this one was definitely over the limit. I'll show you what's going on here. Okay, so I'll just put my screwdriver in to engage the lid switch and you'll hear it. So a lot of times that's indicative of a broken coupling. What's happened is as the towels bound up, this gave way. So I'm going to show you that. Getting into that, we've got a little bit of water in the pump. So I'm going to take this apart and we'll get after this here. We've got two screws. And we'll want to unplug. We'll turn off the breakers to the machine before we get too far. Let me pull this down and see if the plug's accessible. I kind of like to do it that way, but if it's not really accessible, I can just turn off the breaker and then verify. There's my plug right there. That route. With some theory. Again, even just because it's accessible doesn't really mean it's accessible. So that may be more trouble than pulling the breaker. So or flipping the power out. So here goes. Wash dryer. Alright. More than one way to get the job done. Now what this has is a couple screws that you can't really see right behind here. I'm using that driver to get to them. A lot of it you'll be doing blind. You won't be able to see it from where you're at. I guess I can see it with the wheel. Got definitely a few different things going on. So it's got one screw on each side, the same thing. And then it's got these flexible pieces that you don't want to hold up. Sometimes you can tape them down. It can make life a little bit easier for you. The other one's on this side. Again, you won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to feel it. And I should warn you too, this black bar that my hand's on is very sharp, so you want to spare yourself a few cuts. You might throw a clean towel over that and make life a little bit easier. This one's got a bunch of lint built up with this kind of the situation here. Anyway, it's a different story. Alright, so I got it. I can't see it, but I know it. So there's a lot of things you'll do maintenance wise. Sometimes you'll be doing them blind, just knowing. Alright, there it is. And we're going to lift this up and pull the disconnect switch. This is right here. There's the disconnect switch. Just pull that apart, and now we can pull the top lid off. This top lid flat as I'm pulling it off, just so that those wheels in the back don't lose those. These are a little tricky to put in the way that you have to orient them in. Not too bad, but you want to save yourself a little trouble. You can put a piece of tape across those so that they don't fall off. Otherwise, if you have to put them back in, you have to put this portion flat and come up and through the inside. Alright, so now what we've got, one screw that holds this top hose. It's like an air relief hose. There we go, on the fill line. And this we kind of bend and pull, and then I just lean it up and over and in. It's looking a little rough there on the hose. Maybe time to consider replacing this hose. It's not leaking yet, but it's leaking from the air deal. This one is put through the wringer. Alright, so for the door, well, we've got a service door, 2 screws, 1 on each side. And we remove this hose just to get it out of the way so that we can remove the screw here. One. Here's 2. Now hopefully this didn't mangle the transmission, but usually because that part is plastic, the coupler, most times that's all it is. I need to give a little pressure this way. Make that screw line up so I can get it out. There we go. Got the screw out. And now this is anchored on a couple teeth that are facing this way right here. The teeth are out like this and the door rests on that. So you're just going to lift straight up. Those. And now we can remove our door. This access. These machines are pretty nice for small areas like this. Yeah, here's the teeth I was talking about. You can see. And they go into these slots here. And then, of course, it's held in place by the screw through here. Okay. So now for this, what we need to do is remove the motor coupling and then fold it forward. That's where it gets a little bit trickier. And also wanted to check the shocks on this one, and it's okay. Alright. And looking in at the clutch, and it looks okay. Got like a sound belt on this deal on the clutch. You seem okay there. But the coupling is right here in between the motor. And the motor has a drive shaft that goes, it turns the pump here, but it also turns the transmission here. And so it's in between. So let me just, it'd be better if I just show you. Let's get into this. So we can leave our pump on, or we can take the, probably the easiest way is to take the pump off first here, just so we can get it out of the way. Whoops, I don't want to go that far, but basically I use my flat blade screwdriver under there and take those out. I'm going to find where my other went to. But anyway, now we can pull the pump off in theory. There we go. And at least it gives us a little more wiggle room. And so our water is contained in the pump. So for this particular job, we may not need to remove it. I got that clamp here. This clamp later will just fit in to the groove right here. It's keyed, and then you just turn it, and then it's held in while it's turned, just like that. Okay, there we go. I'm probably going to remove both of them. We need a little more room than what we have. Alright. Now, got, well, usually there's a screw here, and a screw on the bottom mount right here. This one, there's no screw in it, so that's okay. These are a little bit different. So all we have to do is remove that one and remove the bottom one if we need to, which we most likely do. Ow, ow. Watch your fingers in there. Everything's sharp in this So you're gonna take your time and make it right. So I'm gonna get my screwdriver down in there. Just a little twist and a little push. And there we go. And now I can remove the motor. Kick the motor forward. Bring it out. Here we go. There's the motor. And it's probably a good idea to wear gloves. Spare yourself some trouble, but you can see our coupling there, and you can see it's all broken apart there on this side. And it's usually just the one side that breaks apart. So I actually don't really need to move my motor around much more, which is nice because things all greasy. But okay, so I'm going to remove the pieces of the coupling. And I'll show you on the new one. You can see how this fits together. It's got two halves. So hopefully our other side's not broken, and if it is, we can pull it off. But it's usually a little bit tougher to get off. It's not too bad, but you know. So for now, I'm going to remove this keyed. This is also keyed, same. And going to get that pieces of the coupling. There we go. There's one. There's two. Come on, buddy. There's the second one. Alright. Got it? The other one dropped down in between. We don't want that. I need to get that out of there. There it is. Got it to drop all the way through. So, just the pieces of the coupling. That's all the pieces there. Now we need to peek at the other side. Make sure it's all intact. Looks like it is. There we go. I pulled it off. Came right off, and I don't know, seeing some oil around there. I'm gonna change it because you can see it's like kind of deformed and kind of lost its shape. So we'll just start fresh. How's that? So you can see the motor spindle, one side meets up with the other side. And it looks like we're kind of straight up and down there, so hopefully this will work out. Open my new one. This is the motor coupling. At least we found our problem. Sometimes these can be tricky to get on. And if I need to, I can move this motor more out of the way so I can see them better. Oh, it looks like we're laying sideways and flat. So I can match that up here and hopefully just push it on. Hopefully. Again, I can't hardly see what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. Alright, I'm on and in. Okay, and then now is our motor. I'm going to want to line that up, and it looks like it's sideways as well. So we can turn the motor to match up pretty well with the grommet. So just turned it by hand. There we go. Yeah, I should have worn gloves. Alright. Somebody said, why do you wear gloves? A lot of people like to repeat. And, alright, so now we're ready to remount the motor. You'll see like this one, the motor mount grommet pulled out and came out. And the bottom one's still on, this one's still in the socket, but one of them fell off back there, which is the top one for here. So we want to grab that right here and reset it. Making sure that we're actually setting it the correct way. So it pretty much, it's got the center nub right here. So here we go. That'll insert there. Okay. The bottom one, bottom left one's still in. So we should be good now. So our bottom arm is still on there. So we'll leave that on there. We're going to need to fold up the new one, and we're going to need to put in this one here in the keyed portion. So yeah, it's got a little cardboard here on the bottom of the motor, so that should help. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to line this up and push the heel on in the coupling. Okay. And insert this in the heel. Okay. Oh boy. There we go. And now we need to line this up with the deal and snap it in place. Hopefully. Oop. Logistics.
Yep, the phone rang.
Sometimes that happens at the worst time. That's part of it all. Come on. Bit of a challenge here. There it is. Yay. Okay, we got the top one in. And now is the bottom. And that's assuming that we're sitting on the mount properly. Okay. It looks like, well, not really, so I may have to separate those two halves and push the one piece on the spindle of the motor first. That's the tricky part. A couple tricky parts. One of many tricky parts. Unless I can get it to go on. I'll try. Close, but I don't think so. Okay, I need to release that. I'm going to pull out the one part of the spindle here. Got the whole thing instead. Okay. So, separate one half. Maybe not good. Okay, and now we can put it. And now we'll put the second part on the spindle. Right? In theory. Oh gosh. Tricky. It's a tight fit, and that's part of the problem. Oh gosh, it's so tight. Okay. And now we should be able to line up those deals. So we'll want this about there. Line up to go into the holes. Good job. Okay. Actually, we want this straight up, like that. Okay. And then we'll make sure all our grommets are there. And they are. This one. Now it looks like it's definitely this way. Oh gosh. You're gonna need that. There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay, we're lined up. Okay, there. Okay, now for the bottom. Okay. Where it gets real tricky. Oh boy, almost there. Very, very close. Not there yet. It's very hard on the hand too. Sometimes you may have to put in the bottom one first, or at least the top one. Okay, get that bottom one in it. Oh God, come on. Theory. There it is. And now the top one. Okay. I'll lift up for the top one. Come on, buddy. Oh, God. Stubborn. Come on, buddy. It's like almost there, right there. I mean, that's how it wants to keep popping out. It's probably that one grommet that was kind of tough. support it for a second. Maybe even wedge it up a little. Yeah. Almost there. Come on. Be careful in there, everything is sharp. Ah, tough one. Whew. Almost there. I think it's because of that time. Oh, almost there. That's a tough one.
So here what we need to do is bring each half of the coupler flush with the end of the shaft.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah. Whew. Do that one so we can test it. That's it. Looking at that. We'll see how we do. Shocks are rough. I'll have to adjust the spring setting. So the washing machine's all fixed, is the coupling, and just setting the screws back in. But the same thing as I was telling you, you can't hardly see these, so they can be tricky. You just kind of gotta have a feel for it. Now, you can see it with the camera, but normally when you'll be doing this from back here, and it's a matter of really feeling around, and sometimes you gotta kind of reposition the lid in different spots to really get that to line up. Sometimes I'll feel for the plastic, it inserts into the plastic with my finger underneath, so I kind of lift this up a tiny bit and feel for it, and then set it right there so I know it's right on the spot. I had a friend that used to use like a little ball. It's like a pokey screwdriver, and poke right into the hole in the center, and that way he'd line up to deal with the do it that way. I usually just do it blind and feel for it. That's how I get it done. That one started. In there. Finish it up with the screwdriver. Other side. started. Oh man. And then I'll just use the screwdriver and tighten it up. There it is. The other side and all set. Didn't have much of a tip on it, so I'm going to trade it with this screw here. Because for that area, I really need something that's got the tip on it, since we can't see it. So I need something that's got the point to help get it started. So I'll just re-secure this one. So that's better. And it'll be covered by the cover anyway, and that way I can get this started much easier with the point of the screw. There it is. Started right away. Follow it up with the screwdriver. Then you don't even need the awl. Just use the screwdriver. There we go. Alright. Thanks for watching. It's all fixed.
A quick search on my YouTube channel of whatever your maintenance needs are. You should find a bunch of different material that'll be helpful to your maintenance needs.
Such an amazing thing taking place, for my daughter had been born. Such a precious gift from above. Fly by faith in the realms of the heavens, under the sun, under the sun. You can soar on the wings of wisdom, rest in the shade as you wait for love. For the King fly on my